Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
And we are the men of the great millstone. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukar Kadash. It's your brother Malcolm, and I'm in the presence of the mighty brothers from the great millstone of Denver. We're headed to camp. Just gonna just do a quick lesson. We were at the house before we left, and we were watching this show called what was it called? The Boys.
The Boys.
And episode 5 especially, if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you check it out and look at it with a spiritual eye, not just entertainment. It is entertainment, but it's very, very spiritual, because they show you in Salakia, we're on the road, and we got this little device that's really meant for a desk.
Yes.
You know, for a desk or a table, but
it's gonna be bumpy.
So it's gotta be bouncing around. So Salakia for that. But it just goes to show you how Esau Edom is aware of the devilment and the wickedness they do. And you know, and the thing that stood out the most about the story is I only saw half of it. It was an hour long, and I only saw like 35 minutes of it because I want to try and finish it, you know, Baba Kashai if I can. But was the scene with the airplane and how they left the people to die, and then they lied about it. And I remember Mayor Rahm Emanuel said he said that you never let a good tragedy go to waste. Exactly. And so basically they were there on this plane when this plane went down, these two supers with these superpowers. There's one dude called Homeland, and he's like a bootleg Superman who's not as strong, all right? Because he couldn't just grab the plane and fly away with it and save the people. But once the pilot was done, you know, they were like, oh, well, we got to go. And they left everyone to die, and the lady that was with them, she wanted to save one little girl and her mom, and he said no, because they're gonna, what we gonna do, save them so they can be alive to tell the story of how we left everyone else to die? You know, and he was too lazy to fly back 123 times to save each individual, which he could have. All right, but it just goes to show you that Esau is just full of shit. Then he gets on national TV and starts actually crying tears when he's standing there, because what they were trying to do was militarize themselves. All right, which goes to show you that Esau really fears the powers that Jacob is going to get. All right, and that's why they're trying to build super soldiers and all that sort of thing. And if Edomites did have that sort of power, they would definitely try to militarize them, because they would be a big threat to the military. But he gets on TV and starts lying through his teeth, man, about how this never would have happened if they had just had the authorization, because they could have scrambled there faster than the fighter jets.
That's what he said, Khan.
You know?
He used the excuse that they were on the East Coast, well, closer to the East Coast. And he used the excuse that they tried to scramble, that it wasn't a hijack, which it wasn't. So they lied about that off the rib.
No, it was a hijack.
But
and then that's another thing.
He said it went through NORAD, and it took too long. And they were in Colorado. It took too long for them to scramble jets from Peterson. And instead of doing it, instead of telling them,
he just could have told the supers, and they could have went and took care of it.
Yeah.
Get that Job 13 and 4. I'm almost, man, that scripture almost come out every lesson, man.
Yeah, you can use my phone if you want.
Here, I got it. But yeah, he sat there and lied on the cameras and sold it. Because they thought that, you know, that they had lost the cause, because the whole thing, when he was sent there to go and kill the terrorists, who, by the way, were hijacking the plane with box cutters. So they were trying to sell like that really could have happened. It did happen.
Right.
That a plane is over the Atlantic with 4 Ishmaelites. They happen to be Arabs on top of that.
Right.
You know, when we all know that Israeli Mossad dresses up like Ishmael and commits all kind of atrocities, and then calls themselves ISIS or some other name. You know, and that's nothing new. I mean, they did that here when they had the Boston Tea Party. So that's the MO of Esau Edom, you know, who is the so-called white man, to dress up like other people. Commit atrocities, just like they dress up in blackface, or they use those prosthetic mask, and then they do these mass shootings in Chicago, and they, you know, because they trying to turn the narrative and make Jake the terrorist.
Right.
But you got that scripture?
This is Job 13 verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
Right, and so Esau, you know, he just forges lies out of his mouth, man. No matter what he does, and he'll twist the truth. And if you twist the truth, guess what? It's not the truth anymore. Now it's something else, man. All right. Just like they'll tell you to swear in, tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and then they all get up there and lie, man. Okay, but yeah, so they once again trying to make like the enemy is Ishmael, and they had 4 men on a plane with box cutters. Meanwhile, the real terrorist was the blonde-haired, smooth, bald-faced criminal with the eagle on his shoulders, with an American flag as a cape.
Right.
All right. Homeland. That's what they call it.
Homelander.
Right. Homelander. Exactly.
Hate that
And they ain't your fucking homeland. You're not from here.
Yeah. No.
All right. Hey, everything you see, we riding just east of the Rocky Mountains, man. If I turn, actually, you can see them in the distance as we're driving along.
They wrap around.
Okay. You can see as we're driving alongside the Rockies, man. All right. Everything that you've seen since this video started playing is fucking stolen. All right. This is stolen land, man. This land belonged to my people, my brothers, man. Not this damn Klansman motorcycle Hell's Angel dude in front of me, man. All right. This is stolen land. Anything you got, you can go ahead and bring it out, man. Then what else did they do? They with this Christianity mess, it seems like every show is poking fun and taking shots at Christianity, because Christianity is dead, man. It's done. All right. So they had this gay pastor who was Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, he was Stretch Armstrong.
You know, and he basically, that was his superpower, and then he tried to say that all the supers, the power was given to them through the Lord. Well, I got news for you, Esau Edom. You ain't getting none of those powers, man. Your power to propel engines and bullets and missiles is about as far as you ever gonna go, man. All right, the weaponry that you have now is as far as you're ever gonna go, and it's not good enough to go against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and the host of the heavens, man. It's not. Okay, it's not gonna be. You know, so this gay ass dude with yellow hair. Scriptures clearly say that yellow hair is a curse. I think that's Exodus, the 12th chapter. There's something, let me see.
I gotta read something.
You got it? Bring it out.
This is Psalms 58 and 3. And it says, the wicked are strangled from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies.
Read it again, brother. Speak up a little bit.
This is Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are strangled from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies.
So Esau is estranged from the womb, man. All right, they start lying as soon as they come out. You know, you see all the videos on the internet of the little kids with the chocolate all over their face and hands.
Right.
You know, telling their mother and father, and they laughing like it's so funny.
Damn.
You know, and they got chocolate on their whole damn face, on their hands, on their clothes. Talking about what chocolate?
Yeah.
And these are like 2- and 3-year-old kids, man.
Yeah.
Or the little lion-ass Edomite, you know, that was last year when that video came out, or earlier this year.
Everybody thought that shit was hilarious.
They thought it was so funny when the little girl said, and it was a black guy.
Yeah, that a black guy broke into it. And that was in England.
You're right. So it goes to show you that same sentiment that Esau teaches their children to hate Jacob. That spirit is all over the world, man. It's not just here.
Yeah.
All right? It's not just here, man.
That was a little...
everyone was laughing, thought it was so funny, it was so cute.
Her mother thought that shit was
man, Jake been hanging.
Funny.
Hey, you see all these light poles going along the highway, the expressway, man. Hey, Jake swaying from a lot of poles from their neck over some Edomite lying on them, man.
A lot of Romans crucified Jake like this too.
That's right. Strung him up on crucifix.
Hung from trees
you know,
for a long time.
Hanging them on those X's. Because an X is nothing but a cross is an X, mean you've been X'd out. All right, and they just turn it up sideways. You know, what you got, brother? You holding the precept?
This is Isaiah 60 and 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
That's right, man. Because gross darkness has covered the whole earth, and now the part, you know, with people, with these writers writing into their scripts, you know, poking fun at Christianity, pointing out its fallacies. If you watch enough movies, man, you can get clips. You could probably get clips that last you over an hour of them in movies proving falsities of Christianity, man. Perfect example is like the first 3 or 4 minutes of the movie Snatch with the rabbis.
I love that scene.
That's just one. That's just
I
one.
actually have it recorded where he speaks about how it's a mistranslation.
And the virgin just meant, you know, it meant a young woman. It didn't mean someone that's never been rotted out.
So he was like, and then he basically goes on to say the whole Jewish culture is based on a facade.
There you go, man.
He says that.
So that's just one example of so many.
Benito Torres.
He plays one of the rabbis.
He plays Freddy Four Fingers in the movie.
And then you had that old movie Kathmandu with the scene with Jane Fonda when she was young. You know, and the whole scene with the Cherokee when Jane Fonda and the old Edomite was telling the Cherokee that they were from the lost tribes of Israel.
Yeah.
The congressman of these here United States told me. Right, and then the Cherokee's like, but I can't speak Hebrew. I don't know. You know, hey, it's Jeremiah 17:4. The scriptures clearly said that they will be cut off from their heritage, man.
Correct.
All right, and they were, man. As a matter of fact, my professor just sent me a thing, you know, over the internet over how all this Hebrew has been authenticated in Puerto Rico. All right, and what we've been telling you, man. So why do you got all this ancient Hebrew that goes back to Israel, that goes back to Egypt, back to the land of Syria, back to that part of the world, the so-called Middle East, the land of the Chaldees and Canaan? You got the language of Canaan in the possession of a bunch of Puerto Ricans.
Man.
All right, that kills your barren straight bullshit, all your Christianity lies, man.
Which they push that so tough.
All right, and going back to that, you got that Jeremiah 17:4. Anybody?
Gotta rehab my yeah.
Because you know,
it's Jeremiah 17:4, and it says, "And now even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee."
Right. Get another one. That one of my favorites. That Lamentations 5 and 2, I believe. All right. Right. Because you know, we were cut off from our heritage as a people, and what did they give us in place of our heritage mainly? Outside of false names that they created and false identities, they gave us Christianity. All right, which is a heritage of lies, man. All right, they gave us Christianity, which says we're supposed to love all and treat all like brothers. Within Christianity is nothing but hate, and the opposite of that. Aren't the Klansmen Christians? Right? Weren't the slave owners Christians? Exactly. Even this dude Homeland was a straight up fucking murderer, burning people with his eyes, with his laser beam eyes, man. A bootleg Superman. He even was referring to himself as a Christian. Because he came to the little meeting with a little gay ass drug dealing pastor. All right.
He made old boy kill his girl. The little girl he liked. Or
yeah,
whatever.
He was in love with this woman, and he didn't want to do it.
He made him OD her because she knew too much.
Right. He OD'd his woman because he got orders to do it from his boss, who was more powerful than he was.
Yeah, well, he wasn't happy about it, but he did it.
No, he wasn't happy about it at all. He really did love the chick, man.
But and he did it to protect their lie, which goes to show you, man. Esau will take your ass out.
And what lie was that? That lie was that drug that they were using that was actually helping increase their superpowers.
Right.
So it goes to show you that Esau is just full of shit, man. He's full of shit, and that, like that pastor, when the whole gay scene.
Yeah.
You know, and the dude was talking about how he used his stretched Armstrong dick to ride out his ass and all this other shit.
Right.
You know, just some gay, homosexual stuff, which is wickedness.
He made that real uncomfortable.
Yeah, he did.
Then the Puerto Rican dude told him like, damn, you the Rain Man. That was funny when he told him that.
Yeah.
You the Rain Man of fucking people over.
Right, the Rain Man of blackmailing people,
Yeah.
and fucking people over, exactly.
Nah, yeah, because he went in there with a picture of him, stretchy arm dude. With,
Yeah, a video.
A sodomite with some other guy.
Yeah, he was sitting in the
His
middle of
phone
two
wasn't
dudes. He was sitting in between the middle of two dudes, busting the slob.
His phone wouldn't turn back on after they gave him the little fake baptism. So he did the little, told him that it was him that he did it to. I got a precept for you. This is Ezekiel 36 and 5. And it says, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which I have appointed my land unto their possession.
Right. So Idumea's got to go ahead, brother.
With the joy of all their heart, with the despiteful minds, to cast out for a prey.
So they casted us out for a prey, and they appointed and so you just have to look at the prophecies. Who fit these prophecies, man? Anyone running around referring to themselves as Jewish cannot possibly be the people of the Lord, not according to the scriptures.
No.
Because the scriptures said that the Israelites got casted out, and that another people would go occupy it and claim to be them. All right, so who's been claiming to be the people of the Lord all this time? And now all this history is coming out and proving them to be wrong. You know, that's why it's called Judeo-Christianity.
Right.
You know, it was a Judeo-Christian movement. Why? Because it was a movement to make Edomites the people of the Lord, which is a lie.
Which the
you got that Lamentations? Go ahead.
This is Lamentations 5:2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
There it is.
Our houses to aliens.
Our heritage was turned to strangers, and our house to aliens. Right? So it took my Ephraimite brother, my professor, you know, to send me a thing about his own heritage, which has been taken from him, which is he and all his people, his tribe, has been lied to about. And then the sad thing is when you try to tell them damn stupid spiggers that they the Israelites and that they not Bowequas, that they the Lord's chosen people, a lot of them get angry with you, man.
Yep.
They want to be what Esau has labeled them to be, just like the rest of the tribes,
man. They want to fight you over Cesare.
Oh yeah, Ephraim would get down with you over Cesare.
Why y'all do that to my Savior?
Hey, we didn't have it happen in Chicago. Brothers was teaching in Humble Park and got jumped, man.
Yep.
You know, had to fade some of our own people.
Yep.
Had to fade some Ephraimites up in Humble Park because they tried to move on the brothers, man.
We've had that happen here too. Had a couple of jakes come up and get aggressive, and they're normally Northern Kingdom.
And what kicked it off? Cesare.
Yep. Cesare's a fight starter.
Because they got mad about that damn Edomite Cesare bullshit, man. All right, and so and you hit the nail on the head when you talked about the when they baptized him. So here you'll have a murderer and a sodomite baptizing somebody in the name of Cesare.
Man.
So you had Homeland in the water with the pastor, and they baptizing the people, and the damn pastor got yellow hair, blonde yellow hair, which is a curse according to the Bible to have yellow hair. Right, and he's actively committing sodomy, but yet he's baptizing people in the name of the Lord. Man, get the
Homelander's an adulterous nigga too.
I'm sure he is.
Well,
I saw an episode when he said he could do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he told
so he can. Hey, if the nigga can fly and shoot laser out of his face and he's bulletproof, what you gonna do to stop him?
Yeah, he taking your bitch and somebody else's.
You know? So why you think the Lord didn't give them that power, man? Esau got enough power with his guns, man, with his drones, with his technology.
And he don't know what to do with power.
You know?
Which we could clearly equate to the other show we were watching, the 100.
Right, and his technology always backfires, and Esau creates technology that destroys life.
Right.
All right? Simple as that. He creates technology that destroys life, man.
The bringer of death.
One hater. That's what they called her. One hater, the bringer of death, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start using that terminology, man. Esau really is one hater.
For real. The bringer of death. Everywhere he goes, death follows.
Death and destruction follows, man.
What's the script, roughly paraphrasing that?
The border of wickedness, man.
Yeah, the border of wickedness, and because thou hast not
that's that Ezekiel 35, because thou
hast not hated blood shall pursue thee. That's Ezekiel. Yeah. getting it? How you getting it? Y'all got it.
Yeah, man. So you got this bootleg Superman and a sodomite pastor baptizing people, and then they also had a gigantic international drug ring going through the church. And so what he was doing, they were hiding something that they were selling, that they were moving around, some sort of product
through the
church
corporation
through the corporation that they set up. It was supposed to be moving something, but what was really inside was drugs.
Basically, they was using the whole Christian church as a front for their drug movement, and to basically have good PR for the superheroes. For the Seven,
and they call themselves the Seven on top of that. But guess what? When they figured out how to kill the invisible dude, which his name was spiritual because they called him translucent. And what is Esau? He's translucent. All right. What? Because his blood shows forth through his skin. That's why he appears to be pink and red. All right. You smack the hell out of an Edomite, they turn super red, man.
Right.
They get embarrassed, they turn red. They get sick, they turn red.
Actually, right before we left, the dude, we were watching that dumbass movie, and one of the characters, he told the Edomite, if you don't give me the money, I'm gonna smack the shit out you and make you look like a Canadian flag. That shit had me cracking up.
Damn. The Canadian flag is very red.
Yeah, he said, if you don't tell me where the hell the money's at, I'm gonna smack you, make you look like the flag that's on the Canadian flag.
And that's all Esau tries to do, man, is run from that identity, man. And that's something that's been placed upon you so that you can't run.
And that's why they hate us, because we're in a time and age where he's being made bare. Go ahead, brother, bring it up.
This is Obadiah 1 and 6.
Isaiah 4 and 1.
How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and privileged against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him.
And we're seeing that in the news every day as we see the trade wars, as we see Esau's allies bailing on him, as we see Esau's allies refusing to move on certain countries with him. How Turkey refused them. You know, Germany and France refused them. All right.
Britain refused them not long ago.
And Britain's breaking away from the EU. I think it's September 2 or something like that. So you know, Esau's friend list and ally list is getting shorter and shorter, man.
It's gonna be him and Israel.
It's literally going to end up being
Israel and
the Israelis and the Americans basically against everybody. And the Israelis are going to get no aid and no help from America anymore, because America going to be overwhelmed with its own issues. And then the Israelis going to realize that they, with all the weapons and welfare, that's the biggest welfare state on the planet, going to them Edomites in the land of Israel. So when you patriots get angry about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the welfare that goes to them is minute compared to what's going to them Israelis.
That's what you're really paying for.
Right? Yeah, those billions, hundreds of billions of dollars a year. You know,
even here in America, man, Edomites are the ones that are filling up the welfare books, man.
Yeah, this is true too.
At the end of the day, Jacob knows how to hustle, man.
Right.
Jacob will work bare to his bones to make ends meet. But Edomites don't know how to struggle.
Well, and
his food stamps.
Their own statistics show you that. There's an article came out a couple years ago in the Huffington Post that laid down the numbers that the majority of people that are on welfare in America are white, so-called white people, the Edomites. There's no such thing as white people, by the way.
Well, and as that goes, the Esau Edom is also commits the most violent crime in Babylon.
Yeah, and they always fail to mention and bring that stat up too. As a matter of fact, just read a report I probably still have in my phone. If I wasn't using it, I'd bring it out. But the report showed that the majority of men of color, especially Judah, the so-called Negro, young men, most of them die at the hand of police officers. So that kills the whole black on black or brown on brown crime bullshit.
Right.
All right. The majority of them are dying, unarmed, running away, handcuffed, or in custody of Edomite police officers, man. Helpless. That video of that one Jake that's tied to the chair and then kneeing him in the body and punching him in the body and kicking him in the body and choking him at the same time.
Like, man.
He's sitting tied. He's handcuffed with his hands behind his back, getting choked, and the dude got a clinch on him, throwing knees to his body, man.
That's crazy.
Fucking man, hey,
we just watched them shoot a nigga in the back.
exactly.
I mean, I just saw 2 officers that were so-called so heralded and experienced, and they shot that nigga in the back.
I'm sure that they claim Christian.
And I'm sure they claim to be some sort of, I claim to believe in some sort of higher power. But they do you know how cowardice you are to shoot someone in the back?
It's very cowardice,
who's
man.
fleeing from you?
Right.
I don't care if you are an officer of the law or nigga, that is the most cowardice thing you could possibly do.
Very
That's
cowardice.
rules of engagement type shit. Like, that's shit you would only do on a battlefield.
And you could clearly see he was unarmed on top of that. Clearly.
Salaki, if I may say, soldiers overseas are more constricted than police in America.
That's what I actually brought that out. In many situations,
an Ishmaelite has to shoot at you overseas for you to be able to do anything.
9 times out of 10, you go on a military op, and you're told you're not to fire unless fired upon, or returning fire.
Well, with a cop, all you got to do is have a cell phone or have your back to him.
And these niggas are less trained.
And the evidence of that is I'm looking around at these hills and these rock formations, and and I'm thinking about it. I was saying it earlier. I've been out here quite a few days now, and I've seen maybe 2 Gadites the whole time I've been here.
Man, this was all Gad's.
And I could just imagine, Gad coming down them hills on horses to put the smack down on Esau and the train tracks that are going along that hill there.
Right.
And all the labor that went in, the forced labor that went into the building of these tracks.
Yep. They had Moab.
And they're on both sides.
Yeah, they're on both sides.
I see that.
The tracks are on the other side over here, going the other way.
Yeah, right. They had Moab. I know Moab did a lot of building of these railroads, man.
But you don't see too many of them out here.
Moab. So that means Moab got more of a hand in building up America than what you Edomites deserve, man. All right.
They gave him the corner. This is that Isaiah 47:1, and it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the river, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man."
That's right. The Lord is coming, man. He ain't gonna meet you as a man, man. All right, he's not. Is that 47:1? Get to the part where Esau's made bare. I believe that's in 47:2. Find it. Or maybe it could be 47 or 49. Let me look. Go ahead, brother. Bring it out, Baba Shah.
This is Obadiah 1:12. "But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day of that he became a stranger. Neither
2.
Or shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress."
Right, and I can only imagine the pats on the back, cigars, and the drinks that those cops got for killing that Jake, man, because that's what they do.
Oh, they probably.
All right, and the GoFundMe's is already ready to go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If they get in trouble, lose their jobs or anything, they'll make more money from the GoFundMe from all these Klansmen. All right, and I've seen a whole bunch of racist ass Edomites since I've been here.
Oh, the majority of the state or the areas that we populate, Colorado is that way, but they segregate the shit out of it so that these Edomites feel, I guess, like they outnumber you in certain areas.
Right.
But that shit is not the case. Just so that people are aware of that.
Well, I could believe that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, this up here, this what a little. No, she didn't live this far out.
Nah, she lived a little closer back. Are you talking about the lady
we
that
passed Black Forest?
Yeah,
right?
we passed it already. But it's about 20. It's about 15 minutes back the way we came, and she don't stay too far from here. Because Toma Road is where she picked us up.
Betsy, right?
Yeah.
Edomite Betsy.
I'll never forget that. This is
Betsy was ready to get married.
Yeah, she was.
This is Jeremiah.
You know I'm not with my husband anymore.
Yeah.
She said that real quick.
She did. She was like, I am not with my husband.
He's a fuck nigga.
He's a fuck nigga.
Save me.
So no, Miss Betsy, just get me and my sons home safely. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right. This is Jeremiah 49:10. "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself."
Right, and see, that's just it, man. And that's why they so angry with us. This is why they hate us so. This is why they want to call us black Hebrews. When you got all these speckled bird Israelites, you know,
clearly speckled bird Israelites.
You know.
Continuing on.
Go ahead.
His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbor, and he is not.
And we can't wait to that part, man. Because that's coming. You know,
it's starting to happen.
You owning. I'm looking around now. You owning horses and stables and farms and land. All that shit is. You got to give all this back that you stole, man.
If we ever were to go the back way, because there's another way to go up to Denver that me and Laki have taken.
Even more lush.
It's even more lush.
Oh yeah.
It's got even.
Because then we'll be driving right through the middle of all that shit.
Yeah, that's how
all them $1 million mansions over there with barns connected.
They got like buffaloes and shit. Some of them. One of the ones we passed through. That's what I realized. Like, because that's wealth. Having all that land, having livestock.
Land is true wealth, man.
Yeah, that's wealth. I looked at how much it costs just simply to own a buffalo, and then I realized, you know, I did the math. You know, go look it up and do the math.
Well, they probably just on their land. I don't think you can own them.
Oh well, if he's selling them though, or at least moving them to a slaughterhouse.
But then again, they do have bison meat, so
that's what I'm saying. And that's popular out this way. So and they
got that spot by the movies. What is it, Pretty Rocket?
Long story short, man, it costs about $28,000 to buy a male, like an adult male. But you're gonna flip it and make about 30 grand in profit. So the dude, if you got like 27 of them, which this dude had well over maybe 100 buffalo, he's never gonna go broke essentially. But Jake doesn't get to live like that because he's all set up.
Jake don't even understand.
Yeah, Jake don't even understand that.
Matter of fact, let me read this. This is Genesis 13 and 2. And it says, and Abram was very rich in cattle. And if you have cattle, that means you got a lot of land. In cattle, in silver, and in gold. All right? And you got to remember, they had so much cattle between him and his nephew Lot, who was righteous.
Yes.
Another Hebrew. There was so much land in between them that they had to part ways because their men started getting into scuffles out in the middle of nowhere. All right? He was like, damn, uncle, my man is boxing with your men.
Yeah.
He said, well, then let us part. And they went two different directions because between the two of them, they had too much cattle, man. That's a great problem to have.
Right.
I wish I had that problem.
Right.
But then again, flip side of that, I don't want it on this side. Because I don't, you know, like the scripture said, you know, those people who got their prize on this side. Roughly paraphrase. I'm trying to remember the verbiage. You know, but the people who got it on this side, man,
got their consolation.
Their consolation, the water. That's exactly the word.
Consolation on this side.
Right. So you got the
LeBron Jameses.
The LeBron James, the Jay-Z's. You know, those guys like that, man.
Smokey Robinson ass niggas.
Yeah, them dudes got it. And it's a fort up here.
That's Castle Rock. And
but wasn't it a fort?
It was.
That Esau used.
It was originally a fort. Yeah.
And so they took the high ground.
Yeah.
Try to defend, and then made the walls high so that Gad couldn't come get their ass.
Yeah. They done knocked it down.
And you can see.
They used to sit on top of that rock. You used to have to go to the top of the rock to get to the fort, but it's set on top of those rocks.
So that was a fort on top of that rock.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But they still flying that
rock. You can
they still flying that with
all directions.
I bet.
Yeah, on top of that rock, you could see Denver you could see the city once you're on top of it. Like if you're on top of that rock and you're looking out over those mountains, you could see Denver, Colorado.
Right.
And then you could look back towards and basically see Monument almost from the top of it.
Well, they still got that wicked ass flag flying up there.
Yeah, there's a big ass.
I'm sure that's probably what they call it, landmarked.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the more popular. It's the most popular one in this city. People used to be able
rock climbers go too.
Yeah, used to be able to free base rock climbing.
Well, you climb that, you fall off, man. You fuck.
Yeah, they did not. They don't let you do it anymore, though. They won't let you go up there.
There are a few deaths. This is Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
So there it is, man. We prophesying against Mount Seir, man, and against everything that is about in this wicked place called Babylon. All right, spiritually called Babylon, Egypt, and Sodom. Because all the things that were going on in those places are rampant here in America, man. All right, and America and Edom is connected to Babylon, And we know that Edom, according to the scriptures, Edom has to be ruling when the Lord comes back, man. Esau is the end of the world.
All
right.
If it's not you, so-called white people, you Edomites, man. All right. Who is it?
Right.
Just like Job 9:24 says. Then who is it? Because y'all control everything.
Right, and that's the Lord, being sarcastic with you. Why? Because you fit all the prophecies. You've done everything that the prophecy said Esau would do.
And then, like that video that you played earlier of that little Edomite going bananas, they spirit bears witness to who they are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just spaz out and all of a sudden, everybody's a nigger.
How dare you say I'm going into slavery?
Right. How dare you? You're a nigger. I'm gonna
be your slave.
You don't deserve shit. What shit?
Yeah, you don't deserve shit like that. Hey, to be in that spirit, when someone tells you what's coming out of the scriptures, if you immediately feel that way and you're an Edomite.
Meanwhile, you dress like a woman in a damn nun's outfit.
Yelling at her, or for that matter, like we had a dude in a demon suit walking around dressed up like a demon, talking about charity and how he was doing what he was doing for the church or something like that. And I was like, man, get the man.
What, the church of demons?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? You dressed up like a demon.
Well, he said it was for children.
Yeah, he said it was for the children.
So you're gonna dress up
like that
for children like a demon?
Yeah, he was dressed up like a damn demon.
You're gonna corrupt a young spirit.
Right. Have all the children out here running the fuck away from you.
Probably take all that money for yourself, not give it to any kind of charity.
Then he wanted to turn around and get on us for being on the.
Do nothing but teach sodomy to the children.
Right. That's
and
it.
witchcraft, man.
The hell with this place, man.
Yeah. This is Lamentations 4 verse 2. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pictures, the work of the hands of the potter?
Let me continue on this. And it says, this is 35:3, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
There it is, man. And that time is getting dangerously close for you, Esau. Dangerously close, and we're actually happy about it. All right. I'm about to shut it down. Hey, so with that, we're going to give. We want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all our fellow laborers, that are scattered about doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the scattered, the ones that are like the speckled bird, bringing all that confusion. To them we say shalom.
Shalom.
Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Abad Babal.